You gave your wife full props in that great acceptance speech you made when you won the Emmy, and you said, well, quoting Jay-Z a little bit, I got the hottest chick in the game wearing my chain.
No doubt.
No doubt. And that became a thing that night, because then everybody was quoting that and going up there. How did that make you feel?
You know, it's so interesting, because once you win and you're backstage, I didn't get a chance to really watch the rest of the show, so I had to go home and watch the Emmys later, and I was like, look at everybody, like, taking this line and rolling with it. And even the British cats who did it completely wrong. I got a chain rocking and my wife or whatnot. It was great to see him mess it up, too.
So we mentioned off the top that you were in The People versus O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
That miniseries was incredible. And you said that it completely changed your opinion about the verdict of that trial. So what changed for you, and how did that happen?
So I was at Stanford University, a freshman, when this whole thing was going down. And I can remember, like a lot of young black men at that time, we were firmly on the side of the defense. Because it wasn't just about O.J. Simpson, it was about us. And the number of times in which we'd have to go through being mistreated or being treated as less than by law enforcement. So an acquittal for O.J. Simpson was like an acquittal for me, right? And Johnny Cochran was also so masterful in that trial. You couldn't help but be swayed by his professionalism and his skill. Christopher Darden, on the other hand, was, if you have one black guy who's up here, and Christopher Darden's on the prosecution, who I played, he was vilified and being called an Uncle Tom and a race traitor and a sellout. I don't know if I said those words, but I probably had those feelings. To be able to step into it 20 years later and live it from the prosecution side, to see the level of evidence they had, DNA in particular, that, you know, they don't know if there's somebody else involved possibly, but O.J. Simpson was more than likely involved in some shape, form, or fashion. I had a newfound respect. And the thing that I love about this job is you can't judge somebody and play them at the same time. You have to be able to understand them. So from like a spiritual perspective, it was great for me to be able to let go of that and walk in this man's shoes and recognize he was doing the best that he could under those circumstances.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You have a very beautiful wife.
I do.
And you have beautiful children, but you have a really unique story about the birth of one of your children. And I would love to have you tell us
You want me to
about
tell
it.
you this story?
Yes, please.
So my first son, Andrew, was born at home. Both of my children were born at home, but when he was born, no one else was at the house besides my wife and myself. She had her first contraction at 11 p.m., and Andrew came into the world at 2:23 a.m., 3 hours and 23 minutes later, which hardly ever happens for a first baby.
I wanted that.
First baby. Second baby, so you know. They come quicker. They come quicker, by the way. So we were talking to our doula, and she was like, you know, Mommy's in for a big day tomorrow. Like, make sure you have a glass of wine and relax in the bathtub. And my wife was like, she had to keep going to the bathroom. And she kept going to the bathroom, and then one time she comes out of the bathroom, she's crawling on all fours. And she says, I think I'm crowning. And I'm like, sweetheart, you can't be crowning.
Go ahead.
It's way too... It's way too soon, and so she's like, this joker doesn't know what he's talking about. She calls 911. She's on the phone with the paramedics, and I finally get through to the midwife. When we all realize what's happening, she's on all fours, and the baby's head is all the way out. Just scrunched up like this. Finally get the midwife on the phone. She's like, that's fantastic. Just wait for mommy. Just wait for mommy to push again, catch the baby so you can put him on her chest, and they can start bonding. Sure enough, my wife pushed again. His body just kind of wiggled out. And I had him by the back of the head and by his bum. The umbilical cord was around the ankle, so I had to undo that from his ankle.
Oh.
And so, if you guys don't mind the visual.
No, please.
She was on all fours, like so. The baby's back here. And so I have to take the baby and like bring it through so that she can lean back. I put him on her chest, and within minutes, he's bobbing around, looking for the breast.
That's an extraordinary story.
Well, Sterling, we're a show called The Social. We enjoy social media.
Yes.
And I'd just like to say I really enjoy you on social media, and
Thank
I'll
you.
tell you why. First, I tweeted at you when you were nominated for your Emmy, and you replied. And I have this now framed, and it's hanging over my mantle. And secondly, I came across a wonderful photo of you. I think we have it here. And you called it courtroom abs.
Let's
Take a look
see.
at that. That's okay, too.
gracious.
That's an
Right.
okay photo, I suppose. But my favorite post of all is this lovely video that your wife filmed. If we could take a look at that video here. I feel I'm not. Something else. Oh God, you got it. Yeah. I feel I'm not a strong dancer,
Yes.
but I feel like this is something I could achieve if only someone would give me a few pointers.
Can I help you?
Yes, you may. I'm just gonna sit here because it's better for me to learn.
Listen, you gotta get up
ahead.
here with me. You have to get
Oh,
up here
okay,
with me.
but I can't
So
see as well.
Just step to the side and move your hips a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
This is Us airs Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on CTV. It's such a great show. So please make sure you tune in. Thank you so much for being here,
Pleasure's
Sterling.
mine. Are you kidding me?
I am not sleeping tonight. We'll be right back.